Morning, George. All right, we are ready for today's YouTube video, which is autumn wreath. I always start with setting the wreath with greenery. For this particular wreath, the thought behind it is to I've chosen materials that would dry nicely. So flowers that will look okay even if they're sort of dying in. So the wreath is made to sort of look fresh for a couple of weeks and then slowly dry in. And I often also suggest that when this has become nice and dry and all the materials have dried in, that you can actually add things on for the upcoming Christmas season, which is a win-win to already have a base and then add on extra things to make this fit that particular season. When I'm arranging the greenery, particularly for making a wreath, I have one particular technique that I always have in mind, and that is to first put on the inside, secondary 1 or 2 up here on the top, and then 1 on the outside. The reason I follow this process is to get a nice flow and not to end up having an open inside or an open outside. So as I go around, inside 2 on the top, outside, and then I go around and I do that all the way around to get a good balance and a nice covered wreath base. Going forward, I will start to put in some of the flowers. I will start with the Hypericum. How I usually think about the order, so the flow of adding flowers, I always add some of the sort of little bit difficult to insert things first, and then I go on with the more easier stuff. Also in regards to size, usually I say you start with the larger things first and then slowly go towards the smaller pieces, but it's not always the case. If you know you have material enough, I always say it's okay to go from one end to another, circling around like this. However, if you're not sure if you have material enough, it's much more important to go, I always say 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So constantly moving around in the wreath base is much better than circling around as I'm doing right now. But since we have plenty of materials here in my studio, there's no need to worry about that. So some of these more solid flowers, I often put sort of on the inside, on the outside, and put them a little bit further in than some of the other flowers. The reason for that again is to get this tunnel kind of feeling of the wreath, making it this 3D feeling of being round. So we have almost come to the end of the wreath here. In the end, I want to put in a few more of different kind of capsicum, using the toothpicks to add on a small stick to it, so I am able to put it into the wreath. There's also these type of small skewer sticks that you can use. Here it's very important to hit the middle of these pieces here, so when you put in whatever you choose to use, that you sort of add onto the middle of the fruit. In that sense, it doesn't rotten or become bad that easily. If you hit sort of, show you here, if you hit sort of on the side like this, this tends to go bad really quickly. So try to really hit the middle of the material that you are using to avoid it to rotten or go bad. We have reached the final stage of this wreath. I think it's become very nice, a great variety of different autumn materials that will dry in very nicely. And as I said in the beginning, if you get this dried nicely, you can add on things or ornaments and so forth to Christmas as well. So this is a great autumn item, as well as maybe being a base for your Christmas decorations as well. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson here of making an autumn wreath. Please subscribe if you haven't done it already, and please also leave a comment if you like this video, or if there's other things that you would like to see me make in upcoming videos. So thank you for today. See you soon.